It's March 5th, 2026. The Iran war is in its second week. You've been watching it on the news. Strikes, counter-strikes, Hezbollah firing missiles, oil prices climbing. It feels distant. Another Middle East conflict. Then the alert comes. Russian forces mobilizing. China moving naval assets. NATO activating Article 5. The Iran war just became World War III. This is what happens next. Hour 1. The trigger was simple. An Iranian missile hit a U.S. aircraft carrier in the Persian Gulf. Not a near miss, a direct hit. 1,500 American sailors dead in seconds. Trump's response is immediate. Full-scale strikes on Iranian military infrastructure. Not surgical, overwhelming. Russia issues an ultimatum. Cease attacks on our ally or face consequences. Trump ignores it. At 3:47 a.m. Eastern, Russian jets cross into Iranian airspace to defend a sovereign nation. American F-35s intercept them. The first dogfight lasts 11 minutes. 3 Russian jets down, 2 American. By dawn, NATO ambassadors are in emergency session. Article 5. An attack on one is an attack on all. The entire alliance is now at war with Russia. China announces full support for Russia. Their fleets are already moving. You're watching it happen in real time. Every news channel, every phone. The scroll at the bottom reading, World War III declared. The stock market crashes before it even opens. Dow futures down 40%. Every market in freefall. You check your bank account. It doesn't matter. Money is about to become meaningless. Day 1. The world has never seen anything like this. Not World War II's slow buildup. Not the Cold War's decades of tension. This is instantaneous. Global. Total. Russian bombers are striking NATO bases in Poland and Romania. US forces in South Korea engage Chinese units crossing the DMZ. Iranian proxies activate across the Middle East. Every American city is on alert, not for invasion, for missiles. Air raid sirens you've only heard in movies are now testing in New York, Los Angeles, Chicago. The sound is different in real life. Deeper, more visceral. It doesn't stop. You're told to shelter in place, stock up on water, food, medicine. The grocery stores are already empty, stripped bare in hours. The highways out of major cities are gridlocked. Millions trying to flee, going nowhere. Just sitting in traffic watching the sky. The president addresses the nation. His face is different. This isn't campaign Trump. This is something else. He announces a draft. All citizens ages 18 to 35. Protests erupt immediately. It doesn't matter. The Selective Service is already sending notices. Your phone buzzes. A text from a number you don't recognize. You have been selected for military service. Report within 72 hours. You're going to war, whether you want to or not. Week 1. The global economy is dead. Every stock market closed. Every bank limiting withdrawals. Credit cards stopped working. Digital payment systems offline. It's not a recession. It's total collapse. Cargo ships are stuck in ports. No one's moving goods across oceans that are now battlefields. Supply chains that took decades to build are gone in days. Gas stations have lines stretching for miles. When they run out, they just close. No more deliveries coming. Electricity is rationed. 4 hours on, 4 hours off. The grid can't handle military demand plus civilian need. Your internet works intermittently. Social media is chaos. People posting from bunkers, from shelters, from cars on highways going nowhere. You see videos from Europe. Cities you visited on vacation now under bombardment. The Eiffel Tower's lights are off. Not for effect. Because Paris is conserving power for air raid shelters. The news reports casualties in the thousands, then tens of thousands. Then they stop giving numbers. Too many, too fast. You realize something terrible. This isn't a war that will be won. This is a war that will just continue until there's nothing left to fight over. North Korea launches missiles at Seoul. 2 million dead in the first hour. Japan mobilizes. Taiwan is invaded by Chinese forces. Every alliance, every treaty, every promise made over 70 years of peace is being called in simultaneously. The world is choosing sides, and there's no neutral ground left. Month 1. You don't remember what normal felt like. The draft notices turned into deployment orders. Millions of Americans are now in uniform. Most have never held a gun. They're being trained in 3 weeks and sent to Poland, to Japan, to the Middle East. Your neighbor's son left yesterday, 18 years old. He was supposed to start college. Now he's on a transport to Germany. You don't expect to see him again. Food rationing started 2 weeks ago. Every household gets assigned rations based on size. It's not enough. You're hungry all the time. Everyone is. The pharmacy is empty. No insulin, no blood pressure medication, no antibiotics. People with chronic conditions are just dying at home because hospitals are overwhelmed with war casualties. The news reports a nuclear alert, false alarm. But for 20 minutes, you thought this was it, the final escalation. You realized that 20 minutes of thinking you were about to die was almost a relief, because at least it would be over. Cities are being evacuated, not from bombs, from the certainty that bombs are coming. New York has lost half its population. They're scattered across rural areas, living in tent cities, waiting. The president announces we're winning. No one believes him. There's no winning this. There's only degrees of losing. Russia's economy has collapsed. China's manufacturing is dead. Europe is running out of food. The Middle East is a crater. Everyone is losing. But the war continues anyway. Month 6. The world you knew is gone. Not destroyed, just gone. Replaced by something unrecognizable. You're living in what used to be a community center. 70 people sharing space, sharing food, sharing fear. There's no more news. The network stopped broadcasting. The internet is mostly down. Information spreads by rumor now. Someone says a ceasefire is being negotiated. Someone else says nuclear weapons were used in Eastern Europe. You don't know what's true. It doesn't matter anymore. Your days are the same. Wake up. Stand in line for rations. Try to stay warm. Try to stay alive. Sleep. Repeat. You haven't heard from your family in months. The phones don't work. The mail doesn't exist. You don't know if they're alive. You can't let yourself think about it. The war hasn't ended. It's just become permanent, normalized. This is life now. Younger people don't remember before. 6 months is a lifetime to them. They think this is how the world always was. You try to tell them about movies, about restaurants, about flying to other countries for vacation. They look at you like you're describing fantasy. Maybe you are. The trigger wasn't Iran. It was never Iran. The trigger was the belief that escalation could be controlled, that wars stay contained, that superpowers wouldn't actually fight each other because the cost was too high. But cost only matters when you think you can afford it. Once the first shots were fired, once American sailors died, once Article 5 was invoked, there was no off-ramp, no way to de-escalate, just momentum. The Iran war became World War III not because anyone wanted it to, but because the system was designed to spread conflict, not contain it. Every alliance pulled in another nation. Every retaliation demanded a counter-retaliation. Every day without surrender meant another day of total war. This is what happens when regional conflict meets global alliances in an interconnected world. Not slowly, not with warning, instantly, completely. The last World War took 6 years and killed 80 million people. This one has been going for 6 months and the casualties are incalculable. Because this time, there's no ocean to protect you, no distant front line. The war is everywhere, on your phone, in your city, at your door. If the Iran conflict escalates into World War III, there's no watching from safety. There's no sitting it out. Everyone is in it. Everyone loses. Right now, diplomats are trying to prevent that, trying to keep the Iran war contained, trying to avoid the trigger. Because once World War III starts, it doesn't end. It just burns until there's nothing left to burn. This is what would happen if Trump's Iran war triggered World War III. Not victory, not defeat, just collapse. The question isn't whether we could survive it. The question is whether anything would be worth surviving for. Until the next journey.